Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Welcome to episode 847 Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporty HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta, Cavil, along with my co-hosts, Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, as well as AD Drew. We're filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to Case-Ways 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in a beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Welcome to everybody. Let's bring everybody on board. Today's episode is sponsored by THG Agency. THG Agency is a company that provides sporting, educational, consulting, and data analytics. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing as well
all
as
good
possible.
In the neighborhood.
Yes.
Long day, packing away at the computer.
Yes, glad that Thursday is finally here. You know, Thursday's a new Friday.
It is.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on, catch up with it. You got to catch up with times.
All right. Since we quit catching up, let me just say this. I can confirm that Texas Southern has hired Ashley Robinson to be the Vice President of Athletics at Texas Southern University, as well as Texas Southern has hired a men's basketball coach. It is none other than Corey Lowery. With that being said, in terms of the hire for Ashley Robinson, let me get your guys' thoughts on that. Starting with you, Mike, what are your thoughts? You've had experience with Ashley when he was over at Prairie View, and beyond that, in a lot of ways, as we've done the media, as much as they've been in championship games, different places, quite a bit here and there. But what are your thoughts?
So, you know, when I did it, you know, I was like, wow. They hired a proven executive. I mean, he's not an outsider to this landscape, and I'm just talking off the cuff. He spent 8 years leading Jackson State athletics. He's one of the most visible, ambitious athletic departments of the country. So highly visible. So during his tenure, you got to look at all what he's accomplished and look at his resume. So, you know, my general philosophy on athletic leadership is, one, winning programs are usually built by administration folks that really get it, and before they are built by coaches. So I think the Houston market also, I can't say enough, the Houston market gives Robinson arguably potentially a larger strategic canvas. You can argue that for or against, but just from my humble perspective, I think coming to Houston, you know, may give him a larger canvas to operate, you know, with all the, you know, companies, potential sponsors, you know, franchises. And the other thing, I guess the third thing when I heard is it kind of sends a message that Texas Southern wants to compete for a conference championship. What's been going on in some of the Prairie View chatter boxes and chat lines is, hey, Prairie View, you better get it done this year because TSU is coming. You've seen that comment a couple of times, but I kind of wonder. I guess I wonder how the folks from Jackson State feel. Maybe CB can probably allude more to this than I ever can. So those are my initial thoughts of it, and I know these two guys could probably give you a lot more detail than I can. So I'll turn the mic over to them.
That's well it's said, and I will give Charles a chance, but I'm gonna go to AD Drew first. Do you have any thoughts on the hire of Ashley?
Well, first of all, I wonder if those 5 out of 6 or 4 out of 5 Dr. Cavil top athletic director awards had anything to do with the vetting process there at Texas Southern and everything. So I know
he had it on the
resume.
Get your hands out my pocket. Get your hands out my pocket. Hey, Raymond, start playing The Godfather in the background.
Because if that's the case, then, my future might be bright and everything if we get a couple more of those at Morehouse, but I ain't supposed to say that out loud. Anyway, no, I think home run hire for Texas Southern. Obviously, it's a bittersweet day for Jackson State. Jackson State, when this first started surfacing, the one question I asked was, what more does he have to accomplish at Jackson State? So, he served Jackson State very well. He got the most out of Jackson State that he could get out of Jackson State. And anybody knows the best time to get another job is when you don't need another job, because he could retire to Jackson State at the rate that he was going and everything. So that's the best time. Go out and get it when you're hot and maximize your opportunity. Obviously, opportunity for him to get back closer to his family where they are at. Everything about it is good. And probably the one thing that I am most happy for is the fact that he is still not only in HBCU athletics, but he is still within the SWAC. So just going to bring another one of our brands up to that level that Jackson State has achieved over the last 8 years.
Doc, how many of them shirts you got?
I don't have any shirts. You talking the tie, the broken tie, the Freddie?
No, I'm talking about that red, supposed to be maroon shirt you wearing.
That's maroon, man. Your eyes on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. We'll talk about that one later.
Great points, AD Drew. And you're right. I am glad that he's still in the SWAC and HBCU for that. Charles, I'm coming to you, but let me preface this. Be careful how you answer this, Charles. Be careful how you answer this. I'm setting you up. You can be straight to the middle of the line now.
Don't forget where you work before you answer your question, Charles.
Hey, this is where dual citizenship has its downside right here. So. But I think the sentiment from Jackson State fans is bittersweet. It's a coup for Texas Southern to get Ashley Robinson from Jackson State. And the best way to describe, his time at Jackson State was, to be honest, Camelot. No one saw the Coach Prime hire, and it restored the swagger that a lot of fans had about this Jackson State football program. And then you had the bonus of the time of Tamika Reed there at Jackson State during the same time. So it was a tremendous time, his 8 years there at Jackson State. And I got a chance to see what I saw in my childhood, and that is the city coalesce around Jackson State athletics, specifically Jackson State football. So it's tremendously bittersweet. But you talk about somebody restoring the swagger to Jackson State athletics. That was absolutely, what Ashley Robinson brought back to Jackson State athletics, and very proud of his accomplishments at Jackson State. Looking forward to what he does here at Texas Southern, because he is I think, and Doc, we talked about this quite a bit in terms of we see athletic directors transition more from administrative to business-minded individuals, and you see that across the board. A lot of great young athletic directors heading these programs, and like I said, Texas Southern has one of the best.
Good stuff. Good comments. Well done, Charles. Well done. With that, Mike, any news that you want to get in here and add? Any different news that's on your mind?
Yeah, to start with, we got, lots of, I guess, volleyball action going on. And so I saw one that, MEAC announces participants details for, its first serve, volleyball first serve from MEACsports.com. And so the MEAC announced First Serve, a virtual volleyball media day featuring the conference's head coaches and select student athletes as they preview the upcoming season. That event will transpire, I guess, this Saturday at noon on the MEAC network. So First Serve will provide a preview of upcoming volleyball season featuring conversations with coaches and student athletes, and all of the big names. But the votes for preseason players, Coppin State senior libero Coco Figueroa from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, is selected as Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Volleyball Preseason Player of the Year. I said Figueroa from Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
Bro, when you roll those R's, man, I mean, that's you're the class by yourself.
Thank you. Give me some.
You had a couple of trips to international, Ville and different places like that.
Yes. The Eagles were picked to finish atop of the league standings. The conference announced Tuesday. The preseason awards and totals were determined, of course, as always, by votes, conference coaches, and sports information directors. Figueroa, the reigning MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, led the conference and just under 600 digs, the best stat in sports, 4.54 per set in 2025, and earned MEAC Defensive Player of the Week honors not one, not two, not three, four, but 7 times. The native of Bayamon recorded double-digit digs in 30 matches, including 12 matches with 20 or more digs. So, first team All MEAC, second team All ECAC honors the season go. Coppin State was selected as the preseason favorite, receiving 92 votes, and led the comp. And then also Howard came in second, followed with 85 votes. I'm sorry, 2 first place votes. I wonder where those Howard people. You got to wonder. While Delaware State placed third with 72 votes, they got 2 votes, first place votes. Wonder where they came from. Morgan State was fourth with 68 points, followed by Maryland Eastern Shore at 59, Norfolk State at 41, and North Carolina Central at 37, and South Carolina State kind of tugging up the rear with 14. Norfolk State also received 2 first place votes. So it's all about Mrs. Senora Figueroa. Oh, I love that name, but I love the fact she's also good in digs and kills. So you also had a couple of teammates, Charis Atalano, Caden Cupid, Howard's Zene Jethro, Alexis James, and Caitlin Robinson in Norfolk State's Gabriel Gilbert that were announced as potential preseason players of the year or in some way, form, or fashion. So congratulations to the MEAC all preseason team. That last group of individuals was outlined as probably the preseason all conference team. So lots of things happening in the MEAC SWAC environment.
Good stuff. Great job on the R's there.
I know he's rolling them R's, man.
Ooh, man, that's good talent. I'm amazed. Charles, any news that you want to get into?
Yeah, let's take a look at it, and we do the media polls for the football, but let's take a look at it as the Red Lobster Band of the Year preseason poll came out for Division I and Division II. So let's take a look at the bands that are ranked going into this upcoming year. We start at number 10, Dr. Bill, Tennessee State University. The Aristocrat of Bands coming in at 9 is the Marching 101 from South Carolina State. The Mighty Marching Hornets from Alabama State come in at 8. The Ocean of Soul sits at number 7. The Marching 100, they come in at number 6 to start the season off. The Marching Wildcats from Bethune-Cookman are at 5. The Jukebox, Human Jukebox of Southern University, they sit at 4. Spartan Legion are number 3 in the preseason poll. Coming in at number 2, the Sonic Boom of the South from Jackson State University. And coming in, starting the season off as the number 1 band, the Red Lobster Band of the Year poll, is the Blue and Gold Marching Machine from North Carolina A&T State University. Doc, that's the Division I preseason poll. Let's take a look at the Division II preseason poll. We got the Marching Pride from Langston University starting off at number 10. The Blue Marching Machine Marching Band from Fort Valley State, they come in at number 9. The Marching Crimson Pipers from Tuskegee at number 8. The Marching Rams Show Band from Albany State University at number 7. I think we'll hear from Stephen Gaither on this one. The Red Sea of Sound, Winston-Salem State University, they come in at number 6.
Wait a minute, who came in at number 6? Who came in at number 6?
The Red Sea of Sound from Winston-Salem State University.
Okay, I was wondering if Mr. Gaither, if he heard that.
Coming in at number 5 is the Benedict College Band of Distinction. The Marching Bronco Express come in at number 4 from Fayetteville State University. The Roar Marching Band from Florida Memorial, they started the year off at number 3. The Purple Marching Machine from Miles College is number 2. And the number 1 band coming into the season on the Division II level is the Trojan Explosion from Virginia State University.
How are you the 2-time defending champion at the D2 level, but come in at number 2 in the poll? I'm talking about Miles.
I agree. That's tough.
Agree.
Good point.
It's a good question.
Question of the day.
Exactly. Hey, who doing the votes?
Big Mike. Edwin Moore says Big Mike had worked himself up to some heavier drinks, rolling his tongue at the bar.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say nothing when they asked how you do it on Mars, but it takes a few though.
Somebody knows what they talking about over there. Hey, you get you a little bit of composure because we rolling over here too. Any news you want to share today?
I'm gonna make mine brief because I do want to ask a quick question as we end this segment. But I just want to go back and the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota held a virtual press conference today, and the purpose of this press conference is so everybody can get an update on the what's been happening in camp and quarterback situations, all that good stuff that you want to know, because when you think about it, we talked to these coaches 6 weeks ago. Nobody had even reported to camp. And this was before we even heard the 5 for 5 news also for these coaches. So I'm just going a couple of highlights that was there by both coaches. They stressed HBCU talent, quality, those players compete with fewer resources, facilities, NIL, but bring genuine love for the game and coachability. Both programs frame the game as an opportunity to represent their conferences and to elevate the HBCU brand on a national platform. And both coaches talked about academic integrity, which is one of the key components from both coaches, not just developing talent to go to the next level, but preparing student athletes for life beyond football. Now, in case you want to go back and watch the entire press conference moderated by Dr. Vick, inside HBCU Sports Lab, very own Charles Bishop, you can go back to
Charles CB.
You can go back to the Black College Sports Network and watch the full about 35 minutes. It's not a long press conference, 35 minutes, but it is available on the Black College Sports Network, the entire replay of that press conference. So after we get off, after we say course lecture dismissed, go catch up on the Cliff Notes and go watch the press conference.
I like that book. Good job.
Good
We'll
part.
take our first break, come back on the other side. It's time to get back into it and look at these schedules. First one on the list, ranked preseason number 4 in terms of where they're expected to finish the season is Morgan State. Let's get into the Morgan State Bears schedule. We'll do that right after this first break.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game, it's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay in put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins! The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain! Available now. Let the journey begin.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
The champs are here. 2 teams, 2 legacies, 2 championship-winning coaches on one stage. The 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. South Carolina State Bulldogs versus the FAMU Rattlers. September 6th, Labor Day weekend, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. You don't just want to watch it, you want to feel it. The sound of the bands, the energy in the stands, and the pride on every play. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com. Built on history, fueled by pride.
Test the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
It is, man. Pitch Coach Wilson here is going down. Morgan State football. Coach, spring ball's gone.
Yes, sir.
Season is among us. What are you most excited for, looking forward to going into the season?
I'm excited about the guys we brought in. You know, the guys that really got after the spring, did a really good job this summer. So I'm excited about the overall talent that we have, and looking forward to kicking the ball off in late August.
You know, offensively, new quarterback on the center. You know, offense, even from spring ball, I can see differences in the way that the line moved. Like, it was a lot sharper. Talk about when you look at last season, unfinished business this year, because every game was a fight. Right? Talk about finishing strong this year. What is one of the things that you harped off with spring ball that consistently you're going forward to the fall?
Just paying attention to detail. All the little things matter. You know, you say it, but it's not just on the field, off the field as well. Whether you're running the sprint, finish through the lines, whether you're starting the sprint, hand behind the line, those types of things is something that we've been harping on all off seasons. That's going to carry over to the season and give us an opportunity to better handle those situations.
What have you seen differently in your group of men going into this season that you may have seen from previous teams, whether Morgan or Bowie?
Chemistry. I think these guys are a closer group. I think our leadership team has done a really good job bringing guys closer together.
Yeah.
I think the coaches did a great job bringing a recruiting class in that fits our needs and to fill some holes that we had. So chemistry has been the biggest thing.
You know, you kick week 1 off, North Carolina, A&T. You know, what is the message 1 week at a time, or what's the focus going into that game? Because of course there's no script for them, there's no script for you.
Right.
Everybody's just getting the raw best of each other.
Right.
So going in week 1, what are you looking for your team to come out? What are you looking for besides a win?
We're a physical, disciplined football team. Focus on us and let's make sure we do the things that we need to do to be successful. But want to be physical, we want to be disciplined, and I think that'll give us a chance.
Absolutely. Appreciate you as always.
Always, brother.
Go Bears.
Yes, sir.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Let's bring up the schedule, courtesy of HBCU Central Network. Let's look at Morgan State. Let's break it down. Morgan State is going to be busy this year. Let's see what they think. Starting it off, old MEAC foe, they're on the road. Morgan State at North Carolina A&T, and Morgan State is going to take this next step. This is a road game they got to win. But if you're A&T, as we talked about when we first kicked this off, this is a game they believe they can win. But then you go September 5th, they go on the road. That's one of those Power 4. I like to say Super 2 and Power 2. Big 12 member here. Morgan State is on the road at Arizona State. Long trip. Tough one. Last time, though, we had a team go out there and play a team in Arizona. Grambling did pretty well. Kind of looked like for a minute they're going to sneak out there to win. Well, we'll see. Maybe Morgan State Bears can figure it out. Then they come back, get a little bit of reprieve, play Lynchburg, Virginia Lynchburg, that is, at home. Should get it done there. Then they have the rival, some people call it rival, but certainly in-state foe, in-city foe, I should really say, against Townsend. Play over there on the road. They go to Villanova, team out of the CAA. Then they have a Pioneer team here, mascot there. Then we start getting into our HBCU tour. But they started off on the road. Homecoming it is in Nashville. They go and check out Tennessee State. Come back. They host Howard, 24th. Then they have an early week game against South Carolina State at home. November 7th, they're at Delaware State. Play Norfolk State at home. And then they close out on the road against North Carolina Central. Charles, I'm going to start with you. As you looked in here and he's like, what are your thoughts on the schedule?
Tough schedule. First question, how much can we glean from Morgan State if they get a win versus A&T, or if they lose to A&T? That is a real decent barometer game, to kind of start things off. But you take a look at it, I mean, the first 1, 2, 3, 4 games are pretty rough in terms of except for VUL in there. So, and then you get Robert Morris on October 10th. So it's a tough schedule before you even get toward your MEAC schedule. But the thing that sticks out for me with Morgan State, experienced team, they got 15 starters coming back on both sides of the ball, over 60 letter winners. So I think that bodes well. I know they're going to play top-notch defense, but the question that has haunted Morgan State for the past, I don't know how many years now, is where is going to come from, and they're searching for a quarterback now. So taking a look at those things, how do you get into the upper echelon of the MEAC? How do you make that game at Delaware State count? You get South Carolina State home, you get Howard home. So those are two things that really, stand out. But how do you get into the upper third? And that's going to be the question. I think you get a lot of things answered. I think when Howard stops in on October 24th as to where Morgan State is after that brutal non-conference schedule.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. A lot going on in this schedule. Mike, what are your thoughts?
So, I kind of echo what, I'm just looking at their schedule and their trajectory and where they're going. Their schedule is different. I mean, dude, major road games, A&T, Arizona State, Towson, Villanova, Tennessee. I don't know. Their conference draw, you could argue, is that favorable because they got South Carolina State at home, Norfolk State at home, and Howard at home. I don't know if you can call that favorable. So and then
you'd rather have South Carolina.
But yes, from that perspective, yeah, you'd rather have them at home as well. So I think to me the biggest challenge is, other than what CB has led, is I'm thinking, can they get through that stretch and then hit MEAC play without injuries or being beat up? Because there's some tough physical games on that 7-game stretch and that traveling. So I think they'll continue to be competitive, especially against the contenders. But if I'm looking at their stacks last year, scoring only 12 points against Delaware State, struggling at late in conference games. Hopefully they've strengthened up that offense. They faced tough competition in non-conference play and had difficult protecting the quarterback. So they're doing all that on the road. So can they be a healthier, competitive team when they hit the MEAC? That's the question with their schedule that stands out in my mind.
R.P. Brown said they have a home game against South Carolina State, but South Carolina State will have more fans than there.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Oh, God.
Man, we ain't got to be so tough out there.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, boy, I tell you. A&T Roy ain't no oil. They get you that L on 829 in that game. Y'all gonna have fans. Y'all sold tickets. I will say that.
Y'all sold tickets.
AD, Drew, what are your thoughts on this?
5 of your 7 non-conference games on the road it's kind of tough. But I am actually going to go contrary to my 2 brethren over here.
Nice.
You do
think on it then.
You do realize, okay, Arizona State, FBS, Big 12, we're going to take that one out. But everybody else on the schedule, with the exception of Villanova, who we know made a deep playoff run on the FCS level, was 500 or less in the non-conference, on the non-conference schedule. So there's a chance you can see a 5-2 Morgan State Bears coming in to their first conference game against Howard. But Morgan State, you can't be 4th, 5th in the conference in defense if you're going to come in 5-2 like you have been the last couple of years. Number 2 in rushing, but you're number 5 in passing. You gotta get that. You gotta get that balance. So if they can get that balance, then this could be a team that could challenge. I mean, you got Howard to open up the conference schedule. You come in 5-2, you get that momentum against Howard. Who knows when the team from Orangeburg comes up there too?
Good stuff. Good comments. Fascinating. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch Morgan State Bears this year. A lot of folks think they might be sneaky good. So if they can get through the schedule, it'll be fascinating to see. Good point by all of y'all, especially like the way AD Drew said. Let's look at this in terms of those games with winning records. That does make you think a little different. Let's take our next break, come back on the other side. Time to get in number 5, Norfolk State. Michael Vick is back at it. Can he have an improvement? Won't take much to get there, but let's see what he looks like. We'll be right back after this next break.
Oh my God! This is your invitation to the moment. The Divine Nine, the bands, the parties, the performances, creating memories with your people. So pull up to the 2026 Orange Blossom Classic. It just hits different. Labor Day weekend, Miami Gardens, Florida. It's the culture, the connection, the pride. One weekend, one experience, one big community. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab. YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Register your business for the premiere.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
You know, it's gonna carry you a long way. It's gonna take you a lot further in life, and why not start in a place where you got an opportunity to be around so many men who pouring into you, who care about you, not just on the field, but off the field, and trying to give you a little game. And so we trying to just make them better, man. And they receive that. The connectivity be there, but you got to work on it every day. Yeah. It's an everyday thing, because it don't take but 1 second for them to stray off. It's a championship mentality, a championship attitude that you got to have, and a resilient attitude that you got to have as a quarterback. And so I'm looking for the ones who are mentally tough. And so last year, you know, I wanted to give everybody the opportunity, man. You know, we had this year. It's all about pouring into those guys and making sure I get the most out of them every single day, and make sure that they mentally tough to go 4 quarters. Yeah, man.
This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. That was Coach Vick, as you've seen him as they were there with the pivot. That was part of the MEAC Football Media Day. Nice touch there by the MEAC. They putting all those coaches. They had them 3 at a time, and they had them in the locker room. Lighting, you can tell why the pivot does so well as to how they do things. That's pretty cool. Again, shout out to the MEAC. All those individuals down there, particular the commissioner, Sonny Steels, getting that extension. You see why she looked favorable. With that being said, let's get into the schedule. Norfolk State. A lot of folks are intrigued about the schedule based on Vick, Coach Vick, I should say, in regards to the next step. You saw Robert Morris on Morgan State's schedule. You see them also on this schedule. With that being said, let's start it off, though, August 29th. Winston-Salem State. If you ask Stephen Gaither, he'll tell you that upset go down, starting that things off. That's not what the Norfolk State Spartans want to hear. They should show up, though. They've had the numbers. So it'll be interesting to see year number 2. Then they go across local area there with ODU. Used to be a matchup, if you would, at the FCS level when they first brought back football, but now they're FBS. So you got a G6 in here. Turn around and play another FBS program. This one, though, is out of the Power 2, if you would, that get going. That's Norfolk State on the road to Virginia. Then you got the old Battle of the Bay, Hampton over Norfolk State. I got to see this live last year. This was one of those bucket lists. I really enjoyed this game. It was at Hampton then. I got a chance to see it at Hampton. Smaller stadium, but still incredible. A lot of fans, a lot of excitement. You can see why this game has so much attention with the passion there. At number 26, you have Chicago State, a new program that brought back football. Division One for a while. Obviously, you remember they had a chance where they looked like they may join the MEAC. That was not to be. They are out of the NEC once they bring football back in terms of conference play. But Norfolk State travels to Chicago, so that should be fascinating. Robert Morris takes on Norfolk State as they travel up East Coast there. Then they have the old Virginia Lynchburg on the schedule. They bring them to Norfolk on October 10th. They get 2 weeks off before they start conference play. As somebody said, a couple of things of how the MEAC is scheduled. You see some of the similar teams. You see some teams, another team on Tuesday talked about having non-conference games where if you're not careful, you look at the names, you might think one thing, but then when you look at the records last year, you realize it's quite plausible. But this is where it really gets good, where you have Norfolk State getting into conference play on the 24th. But boy, do they started off with the tough road game in Orangeburg at South Carolina State. But if they can make this statement, you certainly talking about changing heads, turning heads, if you would. That would be the case. Then they host Delaware State, another team that literally played for a de facto championship last year. So, boy, you talking about starting it off with some people think are the best two teams if you look last year. Even with predicted order of finish, you got Delaware State at 3. So, then you have the fourth one, team that's picked number 2 this year. You play the week after that. You do have them at home, 2 back-to-back home games. Man, if they can start right in the MEAC, closing may not be a problem. Norfolk State at Morgan State. Then you have Howard at home to close things out. Wow. Mike, what are your thoughts on Norfolk State's schedule?
So there was a lot of excitement and hype into that. Really, it was. You tried, and I applaud your efforts tremendously. I think maybe you should have a sip of what I'm sipping on. If we're looking at Norfolk State,
that first game is homecoming too.
If we're looking at Norfolk State, the path to the top is actually clearer than it was last year. You know why? Because they were 1-11 overall and 0-5 in the conference. So it's clear what they got to do. Seriously, games they're supposed to win. I don't know about. I don't even know about those. They've got to improve defensive play. Here's why: they allowed 16 more points per game than they scored. 51 points versus South Carolina, 44 points versus Howard, 41 points versus Hampton, 35 points versus Morgan. So, but they did have some close games. Delaware State, by a touchdown. North Carolina Central by 3 points, and Morgan State by 7. So, if they can make some tweaks in that defense, maybe they can make a dent. But in the last 4 years, they have finished no higher than 4th in the conference. So I don't have a lot. And given their schedule and where it is, I don't know. It's going to be tough with that schedule. Non-conference games, Winston, Salem, and oh, by the way, Vegas. Mr. Gaither might like this. Vegas actually picked them as a higher probability to win against Winston-Salem. Mr. Gaither. So, Old Dominion, Virginia, Hampton. I don't know. It's going to be tough for them. Even with this road schedule, which is a little easier than Morgan State's, it'll be hard seeing them with more than 3 or 4 wins.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me go to you, AD Drew.
I guess I'm the contrarian on the panel today because I'm supposed to be 2 for 2 with my counterpoint. I'd say this schedule sets up for Norfolk to go on a Delaware State type run like they did last year. Those last 4 non-conference games. I mean, if they can get past Hampton, Chicago State, Robert Morris, who was 5-7 last year, and VUL. I mean, that's 4 in a row to get you some momentum going into conference play. They're gonna be the favorite against Winston-Salem, Steve. I'm sorry, I have to say that, but this may be one of those get the Vick hype machine going, because if they get on that type of run like Delaware State did with D-Jack last year, there's going to be a lot of hype around that homecoming. Can Norfolk go into Orangeburg and spoil homecoming? And Norfolk be the first team to defeat Chennis Berry in 4.5 years in conference play.
You're picking Norfolk State. Can they?
I said I will ask it. I'm not going to answer it though, but I will ask it. So, but yeah, it sets up to be a very exciting run for Norfolk. I really think the Vick hype machine is going to get rolling come 1st of October and all. But then comes conference play, and I think, well, hype might get quieted just a little bit. Just
might.
All right. Go ahead. I'm done.
Charles, you didn't take a bite of the apple, the candy apple, since it's Norfolk. Or maybe I said green apple, I guess.
Well, I tend to agree with AD. I mean, they have a legitimate shot at having 5 wins before they see South Carolina State. But it's at South Carolina State. It's hard for me to get you over the hump in that game. But then, you host Delaware State, you host Central. If you can get that win on October 24th, I'm with you. You could see this Delaware State sort of run that Norfolk State could get on. But the question, I think, you saw some things Vick did in terms of overhauling the secondary. You saw he got better depth, of course, year 2. But, signal caller. Del J. Bailey comes over from Itawamba Community College. We last saw him in the SWAC at Grambling. So can he bring some of that athleticism to the quarterback position that he had over there at Grambling? But it all comes down to October 24th. Who are they by that date?
I just want to know what kind of drink y'all been sipping on. I want some. I really want some of that. That's some really good Kool-Aid.
Man, let's take our last break. Charles said, I'm okay. Oh man, that reminds me. I got to talk about my tequila trip to Guadalajara, man. Tequila seekers, man. The tour. That's big time, man. They got hats out there, all that kind of stuff. Might have to revisit that and show y'all some pictures.
AD, that must have been what you had before these picks. You must have had that stuff from Guadalajara.
Hey, say it again, Mike. From where?
Guadalajara.
No, but when I get off this show, I'm probably gonna find me a good domestic drink with some suds on the top.
Okay,
there you go.
Well, that's special for you.
We'll be right back after this last break. This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Do you own a business, have a service or product, apparel, entertainment, or food? Would you like to reach an educated client base that are loyal? Then the Urban Passport Business Directory is for you. The Urban Passport is your premier digital discount and media portal with the Urban Digital Television Networks and V108.5 radio properties embedded. Stay connected with the community with the latest news, entertainment, and HBCU sports and culture with the Black College Sports Network. Visit myjbn.com/passport to register your business and sign up for your free app before the August 24th release date. We are the premier digital national urban business directory, always free to the consumer. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book, and your digital passport to a world of savings. Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU
football fans. HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in primetime with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pregame for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Test the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Oh man, what's happening? Not much. All right, spring game, baby. Talk about it. Talk about what to expect from the Bison this season. Man, you're gonna expect some pretty good things. We got a real good foundation of guys that are coming in and hard work and blue collar guys. We think we really got the foundation of what we want to do this, obviously this season. Our team for these first 14 practices has been giving us everything that we've asked up until this point. So you're going to know guys going to play hard, they're going to compete, they're going to have fun, but most importantly, from an offensive standpoint, we get a chance to score some points. From the defensive standpoint, we want to stop people, we want to be aggressive, and for special teams, we want to make sure we flip the field. So appreciate your support. Obviously, everything starts today, but obviously August the 29th when we go to the SWAC MEAC Challenge on August the 29th to play Alabama A&M.
This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab, back for our last segment, I believe, as we get into Howard's schedule. You were hearing from Coach Ted White as he says he's going to be ready for some football. Well, guess what? They get to kick it off prime time, literally under the lights, Saturday night, ABC in Atlanta. This should be entertaining in terms of these two coaches that want to make a statement and have a chance to get a big win to open up things. Second-year coach Sam Shea, first-year coach Ted White. August 29th, Alabama A&M versus Howard. That's the Bulldogs versus the Bison in the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota. Next one, though, they go back and hit back in the DMC where they play Richmond. They host them, though. Then they got to go on the road against a Super 2 team out of the Big Ten, that's Indiana. Then they continue on that route with another team, Rutgers on the road as well, another team out of the Big Ten. Then they get to have the game. Audi Stadium, it is in Washington, D.C., so I guess you can call it home from that perspective. Hadn't been too kind to them, though, but they get the battle for the real HU. This is Hampton. Hampton has their first-year coach. Two first-year coaches will get it kicked off in this game, so this one interesting. You've seen Howard do this a couple of times over the last half dozen years where they play a team out of the Ivy League. This one is Penn. They're on the road to Penn. Should be fascinating when you talk about the battle of all that intellect on the field and fans surrounding it. The next one is another battle of intellectuals, if you would. This one features a Division II program out of Morehouse, although the AD, Kerry Davis, said he welcomes Morehouse to move up to Division One. I know AD doesn't have anything at this time. So keep it moving. Anyway, this is homecoming. The mid-major AD of the year, shout out in terms of giving some love in the appropriate place. When you talk about that matchup, is fascinating when you have all things there talking about Morehouse with their fearless leader, Harold Ellis, giving a little love there. And then you get into conference play. October 24th is where it starts. They travel to Morgan State. We just talked about Morgan State. Somebody's going to get a big win to start things off in conference play. Get a little excitement. Then you get to go face North Carolina Central on the road where you get the chance to make your real statement. If that's not enough for you, you get to host South Carolina State at home. Then you get to host Delaware State. Close things out on the road at Norfolk State. So number 1 and number 3 in terms of predicted over finish, you have at home. That's not a bad thing, I'd imagine. Anyway, be interesting to see where that goes. This time, I'm going to start it off with AD.
If you're a Howard fan, you have to be super excited about the cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota to open up the season August 29th at Center Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to tell you why you have to be super excited if you are a Bison fan. Because the month of September is going to be hell for you. You got everybody. You got 2 Big Ten teams and a Richmond Spiders team that went 7-5 last year. You know, I've never been a fan of the early season bye, like how it would have after week 3, except when you got to play back-to-back Big Ten teams, you're going to need that extra week to recover. So kind of smart by the schedule makers over there at Howard, because I'm pretty sure the schedule was made before Coach White got there. But like I say, I like the early bye because of that factor. Given that you may come in 1-3, 0-4, you know, and you got your 8s back last year, Howard. You know, Hampton has stole your 8 for so many years. We forgot how to spell your name that week. You know, it's a chance you might lose it back to Hampton again this year, and you'll be Howard again. So, you know, we'll find out who the real HU is. A Penn team that was above 500 last year, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I know it's homecoming. I know where I work, and yes, I expect my team to come in there on the roll and spoil homecoming for Howard. But if there's any hope, like you said, Dr. Cavil, you do have South Carolina State and Delaware State at home. It gives you about maybe that much hope. If you're the Bison, about that much hope. So I'll leave it there.
Good stuff. Let me go with you, Charles. What are your thoughts on this Howard schedule?
80 ain't leaving much meat on the bone on that. It's a rough schedule. This is a rough schedule. You talking about 2 Big Ten teams, but yeah, and then you at least, like you said, you get South Carolina State and Delaware State at home. But this is going to be a real tough schedule to navigate. What I am looking to see from Howard is you have one of the best running backs in the conference in Eden James. You know, so can you keep games close? Can your defense keep games close to where your running game can kind of take effect? So those are 2 things that I kind of take a look at. And arguably, they have the best special teams in the conference. So keep games close to where you give them an opportunity. You have a punter who's first team All MEAC. You have a field goal kicker who's first team All MEAC. And so you tend to play field position. So, you know, what can the defense do this upcoming season? Last year, they didn't turn over teams much. You know, they were midway in the conference in terms of sacks, midway in the conference in terms of forced fumbles, midway in the conference in terms of interceptions. Can your defense step up to give you an opportunity to win some of these games, especially when you take a look at games that you need to win. Morgan State on the road, North Carolina Central on the road to set up November 7th, taking on South Carolina State at the crib. So, it's a tough schedule to navigate, I think, for Howard.
Great point. I agree with you in a lot of ways, but let's let Mike give his thoughts on the Howard Bison football schedule.
Okay. I'm going to pull a page out of AD book. I'm going to be contrary to what these two gentlemen have said. That was just too much hope in that diatribe they both gave. So Howard has key games. I think AD said it. 2 Big Ten, not just 2 Big Ten, but the national champion Big Ten. And so you got them back to back. 4 of their big exposure games are unfortunately against those Big Ten teams. 1 against Hampton, 1 against Alabama A&M. So that's the good piece. And you heard Coach talk about we're going to score a lot of points. He said it once or twice, and I find it funny he said that because they were dead last in points. They scored 19 points a game, allowing 25 points a game. So I find it hard that, if they survive September healthy, maybe they have a chance, but that calls for them to really have made some improvements in rushing. They were dead last 2025, 2024. Total offense, they were dead last 2025, 2024. Charles talked about defense. So with that kind of road schedule, can they get through September, and will they have some kind of game that's symbolic of a reasonable run game? Because that's going to help them going into October. And then we mentioned South Carolina State at home. I don't put a whole lot of faith in that. I'm sorry. Even though but God riddance, good luck, Howard, but I just don't put a lot of luck. So we'll see. There's little margin for error against a team who's been dead last in all statistics. And their road game just does not favor that. So I don't have not even that much hope with this schedule that they have, given their past performance, not just 1, 2, but 3 years ago.
He said not even that much hope. Everyone says, Blennon, if Morehouse moved up, they are definitely MEAC, Clark, and Tuskegee are SWAC fits. Karen Griffin says, hold up. Clark is more of a MEAC material. Interesting. And Chuck Hunt. Those are both YouTube comments. And then we got one coming with Chuck Hunt on the Facebook. He talks about Howard Morehouse giving them a different classic name with a little laughter there. He's talking about the intellectual capacity there. It's fascinating when you talk about that. With that being said, a couple of more updates we want to give before we close it out. MEAC Hall of Fame class was announced, so we want to make sure we give kudos to the MEAC Hall of Fame. Significant individuals honor there. A couple of coaches getting their honors and just due. So fascinating to see what that class looks like. Should be a special time there. They do their Hall of Fame during the MEAC basketball tournament. So a lot of folks will be honored and fascinated seeing what goes there. I know, AD, you wanted a question to ask everybody or one to challenge. Either way, go ahead. Let me give you the floor. You're on mute.
Mute.
My bad, y'all. I've had a couple of people in the HBCU space ask me this, and I just wanted to throw this out for a quick discussion. Obviously, I don't want to speculate any names or anything, but with the Jackson State job now open, will we start seeing a shuffling of the deck as far as athletic directors in the HBCU space? When what I mean by that, a current HBCU athletic director at another institution in one of our 4 conferences takes the Jackson State job, which opens up another job somewhere else because the Jackson State has a perception of being one of those jobs that you want if you're a HBCU athletic director. So just wanted to throw that out there and see what people think.
I would say this: Jackson State is a great job because it's you are Division I FCS AD, but that's a tough job. The expectations are extremely high. And so it'll be fascinating, as you said. Be interesting. I know there's some talk out there, but, open up in terms of some of my sources. We also have to be careful in terms of.
Like I said, I don't want to name drop. I just want to have the general discussion.
No, yeah, you're right. But you alluded to it, so I'm going to say this part of that. I agree. We need to be careful with it. Nothing wrong with asking that question. But I can give pretty confidence that at this point, Jackson State has not reached out to anybody. And they do have an interim, and I want to pay some respect to the interim. My understanding that she's likely going to get the year. We've seen that play out before. But you never know. You can see that. And so I just wanted to kind of add that to the mix. But it'll be fascinating to see once it does open up, if it does, then you're right. It could be fascinating to see what that looks like in terms of who may put in the hat, if you would. And then, there's the whole thing about recruiting folks that you want. Sometimes it works out. So that's an option there too. You go seek what you want to do. But then you have other folks, president said, no, leave my person right here. We fine. They might counter as well. So it has to be a perfect mix when all that goes down. And it'll be fascinating to see this landscape. And then will anybody take the opportunity to push one of these folks at the FBS level? Yeah, I know that's not what we tend to see, but it may just happen. With that being said, thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta, Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Again, I want to thank you for listening to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday. Got it in for this week. Next week, we're done with our schedules in terms of the FCS. We'll see if we'll sneak a couple in maybe for the Division II level, what we call the mid-major programs, or maybe even an NAIA schedule or two. We'll see what these fellows want to do next week as we get back into it. Or we might have some interviews, some folks changes, and who knows, as AD says, might be some changes even more to come. So we'll see what we want to look at in terms of what takes place there. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, is DrKenyatta Cavil, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook, Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big, continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles.
Of course.
Mike.
Lecture.
AD.
Dismiss.